Today I changed my steering wheel from this to this. This is a sports style steering wheel that I took out of a wrecked E46 sedan. I had the same style of wheel in my E46 coupe and didn't like the stock wheel that was in my wagon. You can see how bad of a condition this donor wheel is in. The leather is sun damaged, it has scratches in the paint and plastic, and it was very dirty. This left me with a few options to bring this wheel back to life. I started by removing the control panel and lower trim with a T20 Torx driver. There are 2 screws on the inside of the wheel and 2 on the lower back spokes. Before pulling the trim off, make sure to disconnect the steering wheel control wire. Once that's off, there are 4 more screws on the back of the control panel. Remove those 4 screws with a T20 Torx driver, and now you have 2 separate pieces. The upper is your control panel, and the lower is just your lower trim. I wanted to paint match the lower trim piece to the red leather interior in my wagon. I sanded the black soft touch paint off of the trim with 220 sandpaper. Then I sprayed it with a matching red and then clear coated it. To cover up the faded and cracked leather of the wheel, I opted for a leather wheel cover. These wheel covers stretch over the wheel with the existing leather and are then stitched on by hand. Here's what my wheel looked like when I finished. It took me about 3 hours to stitch the entire cover, and I'm very happy with the results. It fits tight on the wheel and really enhances the look. The stitching and alignment isn't perfect, but that's mainly user error. For a $30 kit, I think this is an amazing investment to revamp your steering wheel. Once the paint had cured on the lower trim piece, I screwed it back into the control panel and it was ready to go on the wheel. Don't forget to connect your control wire. I absolutely loved how the wheel had turned out. The stitching on the wrap complemented the color of the lower trim, and the whole wheel just looked so much newer and nicer, and it definitely felt better too. At this point, I was super excited with how the wheel was looking and I was ready to get it into the car. The morning that I was going to install it, my wagon got backed into. After a long month of waiting for the body shop to finish up on the wagon, I finally got it back and was able to continue working. Late one night, I decided that I was going to swap out the radio with the Eonon head unit that was in my coupe that I was getting ready to sell. I also wanted to change out the black leather shift knob, but at the time it was too cold to get it off, so I left it. Next, I had to take off the stock steering wheel. There are 2 T20 screws on the back of the wheel that allow you to remove the airbag. Do not do this unless you have disconnected the battery first. Disconnect the airbag and set it aside. Using an impact gun, remove the column bolt with a 16mm socket. Leave the bolt in at the end by just a few threads and shake the wheel off the column until it's loose. Remove the bolt, then slide the wheel off. Now take the new wheel and look for the alignment splines. Match up the splines and slide the wheel onto the column. Connect your steering wheel wires and then screw in your column bolt and tighten to spec. Now connect the airbag wires to the airbag. Center the airbag in the wheel and gently press it into place until it is seated. Once I got the airbag in, this update was finished. I also installed the Eonon head unit and a carbon fiber shift knob. This video has been a long time in the making because of the accident, but I'm very happy with the outcome. Hope you guys enjoy it too. Here's what it looks like now.
Breakdown.
Clientele.
clientele.